Commission. It's 7 p.m. Could we have roll call, please?
David Craycraft,
Here.
Pete Lynch, Roger White here, Linda Boving,
Here.
Patrick Lynch,
Here.
Whitmore Dell,
Here.
Rich Dobda. I move that we excuse Pete Lynch and Rich Dobda from tonight's meeting.
I'll second.
Roll call, David Craycraft,
Yes.
Whitmore Dell.
Yes.
Roger White, yes. Pat Lynch.
Yes.
Linda Boving.
Yes.
Could we get an approval for the meeting minutes of November 25th? I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of November 25th.
I'll second.
Roll call, David Craycraft.
Yes.
Whitmore Dell.
Yes.
Roger White, yes. Patrick Lynch.
Abstain.
Linda Boving.
Yes.
Rich Dobda.
We didn't have a motion to excuse. We just did.
We did.
I made
Just
a
did.
motion to excuse him.
Excuse him.
We have to unmotion them now.
Yeah, I was worried about that, guys.
Well, then, he just won't vote on this then.
Okay, could we have the first application?
The first application on tonight's agenda is CA 24-057. The address of the subject property is 267 North High Street. The request this evening is to install a new front door on the subject property. This residential home, from our architectural historic inventory sheet, noted that it was constructed in 1929. And it is the first Sears and Roebuck pre-cut home that was installed in Canal, Winchester. Thought that was a pretty good piece of history for everybody. When looking at that inventory form, I included that in the packet for you guys. The little thumbnail photo is kind of hard to see, but at one point in time, when this was surveyed in 1984, that home did have vinyl siding on it and some aluminum clamshell awnings over the front windows and doors. That has since been removed for the wood siding. Not sure if the door was the same as what's in this photo back in '84. The clamshell is kind of covering the top arch detail, but some work has been done to this house over time to make it look a little more original since to its original construction. Again, the applicant is requesting to replace the damaged front door. You can see here the photo from 2019 to now shows that it has started to heavily damage just over those last 5 or 6 years. The applicant's requesting to put in a new fiberglass door that'll be custom cut to be arched like the existing. The applicant's also noting they're going to remove the decorative metal straps from the wood door and install it on the new one. The main difference between the existing door and the new one is they are proposing not to have the window located on it. If there's any questions from the commission, I'd be glad to answer. Applicant's here to answer any questions you have. And Holly, if you want to just sign in to the podium there and answer any questions the commission has for you, that'd be great.
I have my designer here as well, Mara Prodich.
So it's currently a wood door, correct?
Correct.
And you're proposing a fiberglass door.
Correct.
I'm guessing the fiberglass door has like a wood grain, kind of very similar to what's on your existing door, or no?
Yes.
It does? Okay.
Yes.
In the absence of the window, I don't really personally see a problem with it. I think it
No, I don't
actually looks better
either.
without the window.
Agreed.
I really don't like the window.
You
to
don't like the
begin with.
window? I don't either. I think this is a vast improvement. What kind of trim are you putting around the outside of that? It's obviously currently wood that's
It is
Laminated.
actually, it looks like it's
Looks like
peeling
plywood.
away. Yes, it's plywood, actually. So what we'll do is trim it with either a treated wood product or an AZEC that also has the similar detail with the wood grain. We also have to build up the threshold and clean things up, and we would also make the trim not meet under the eaves there. The door is a tiny bit shorter, which I think with the scale is a little bit better. And then straightening the threshold out will help a lot as well. We propose to keep the thumb latch and all the details around the lock. There's an escutcheon that we can just recondition a little bit and make it look very original. The trim, actually the door itself does have a nice wood grain, and it does have the slats. So it does look like it's a very heavily painted wood door.
And the color will be what color?
It will be
Brown.
very similar to what's
Okay.
there now.
And then
Yes.
the trim around the door, what color was that?
What color was it? That's a
What?
good
I
question.
mean, I'm,
So it's the same
Oh, I
color
see, it's
as the
almond.
trim on the top, right, yeah.
just the rotted wood color.
I can't remember what the.
Which
what-
layer?
Rotted wood
Yeah.
gray.
Right now it is, but I can't remember what it was painted originally, but it was the same as the trim that's on the house.
Okay. So the trim in the door will be the same color, correct or not?
Well, the door we propose to do in the brown color.
Right.
And the trim would be the color
Okay,
that's the
I
kind of the
understand.
greenish gray that
Okay.
outlines the,
It'll be a
Fine.
wood-like product or composite-type product as opposed to a plastic, because sometimes
Yes,
AZEC creates kind of plasticky type.
no.
Trim.
So the trim, it will use AZEC, which looks or like a hardy product.
Yeah,
Um,
concrete fiberboard-ish.
Exactly.
type, yeah.
So in the rest of our natural lives, it will look beautiful.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
The siding, the latch siding that's there, is that wood also, the cedar shake?
It is a cedar shake.
It's
yes.
wood cedar
Yeah.
shakes? Yeah.
We're,
Beautiful.
We'll talk about all the rest of that, and Holly will be presenting to you hopefully soon,
Okay.
so we can make this lovely little home. You again?
Any other questions?
I would say I like the door, it's got a lot of character.
Yeah.
Kind of fairy tale, I like it.
It is very
It's one of the reasons I fell in love with that house.
Glad you're maintaining it.
Well, if there's no further questions, I'll make a motion to approve application CA-24-057 as stated.
I'll second.
Roll call, David Kirkhope.
Yes.
Rich Dobda, yes. Linda Bobby.
Yes.
Patrick Lynch.
Yes.
Whit Wardell.
Yes.
Roger White.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Good.
you.
Have a great one.
The next application on tonight's agenda, CA 24058. The location is 80 West Waterloo Street. The request this evening is for some new signage, to reface the existing monument sign, and to install a new wall sign on the rear elevation. This was a residential home constructed around 1888. In the early 1990s, it had a major remodel that converted it to a commercial use. The applicant is seeking to replace the two faces on this V-shaped sign at the front of the property. The new sign faces will be composed out of aluminum with a wood composite dimensional letter. The sign faces will mount directly to the existing posts. The only change the applicant's proposing for the posts is to take off these top cap details and put on a simpler pyramid detail. For the rear sign, similar style sign, slightly larger. This sign is 8.3 square feet in the back, but again, aluminum sign backer with wood composite dimensional letter graphic.
Is the applicant here?
Good evening. My name is Rebecca Green, and I'm here for Carmen Orthodontics. What we're trying to do here is update the signage, and again, wanting to keep it within the guidelines, just freshen up the sign, because it will no longer have that arch in the center. The sign itself will be slightly shorter in height. The sign now is 48 inches tall. This one is 40, so it's slightly less prominent on the street. Also, it is, again, this is a business, and the parking is in the rear, so we would like to have some signage to indicate that that is the business, that this is Carmen Orthodontics, and that this is where you need to enter. That is the primary entrance. I'm happy to take any questions.
Andrew, the sign meets all the zoning requirements and,
Yes, yeah, I worked with Rebecca on a couple iterations to get the sign to meet
Okay.
the signage code for the district.
okay. Could you go back to the original? Okay.
Yeah, I like the new sign better.
Yep.
Vast improvement.
Yeah.
Yep. The sign in back follows square footage guidelines and everything.
Yes, yeah, so with the sign update that took place in 2019, the signage in the Old Town District is up to the Landmarks Commission that it fits the scale of the building.
Got it. And the front's far underneath the square footage.
Correct, yeah, max is
Anyway,
10 square
so-
feet and proposed
Yeah.
is 6.8.
Cool. Yeah, I think it looks fine.
I like this sign better than I do the existing one.
Yeah.
That's
Like I
the
said,
goal.
uh,
That is our goal, to make it just a little nicer.
Quite the improvement. And of course, the tops, eliminating the little round knobbies. I don't think they're really necessary anyway, so.
If there's no further questions, would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve application CA 24-058.
My second?
You say you'll second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, Roger White,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Linda Bovee,
Yes.
Rich Dobda, yes, David Kirkhoff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next application, CA 24-059, this is a request for 46 East Columbus Street to install new vinyl windows. This residential home was constructed between 1840 and 1850. It is on the East Columbus Street district that has been on the National Register since 1988. The applicant, in the series of improvements they've been working on, is requesting to replace 12 existing windows, including storm windows with new vinyl. The existing windows are noted by the applicant to be a mismatched set of 1/1, and some of the windows are 6/6s with grids. Some of the windows have exterior storm windows, some do not. They are requesting to place new white 1/1 windows in its place. The applicant has provided here a cut sheet of the proposed vinyl window. They did note that the changes with the new windows are not going to make any exterior trim changes on either the brick portion or the wood-sided portion for window number 1 or number 4. And the applicant's here to answer any questions you guys have for them.
So the windows in the front elevation have already been,
We are leaving those because they are the old glass.
okay,
So we are not changing anything on the front
okay.
to keep the look that's there.
And the front is a 1/1 window. Only the addition had grids.
Okay.
So are all the windows, I should know this looking over to your house all the time. Are all those windows 1/1 across the front, even upstairs?
Yes.
Yes.
So is that why you're going 1/1 for the balance of the house? So it
Yes.
matches the front?
Yes.
Hmm.
And the ones in the back were already replaced, so they will not be replaced, and they're 1/1 as well. You can see in the bottom picture there.
The bottom windows
Would be
were
to-
replaced as
Bottom.
1/1.
Underneath 6 and 7, those.
Those
were-
two are
been
newer
replaced.
windows, but they are 1/1, so they will not be replaced.
Okay.
So all the windows will then match.
These two right here, 1/1. And all those, the rest are. Hmm. Yeah, this is kind of a tough one, given the fact that typically replacement windows, if there's mullions, there's 3/1 or whatever. Usually you match what's there, but this is a hodgepodge.
Well, they're matching the front, the windows
They're
on the front
matching with the
elevation.
front, yeah, which,
South elevation.
yeah, sounds applicable.
So is there a wood trim around, I mean, look at window number 5. Is the replacement, or are you taking that entire window out? So it's just going to be a brick opening?
It's pocket installation, so I believe that all stays, the outside
wood
trim
will.
stays.
Okay,
Well, it's a storm window on there now. That will be gone, but there is a wood section around that will remain.
okay. So all the storm windows will not, they'll just be gone?
Correct.
Everything will be
Okay.
gone, yeah. Thank goodness.
It'll definitely look better without the storms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Might be a little less drafty without.
Looks like you have plastic on window 11. At least it looks like plastic in the
No.
top pane.
The reflection.
I don't
Haven't
think
put
so.
any up this year, so not yet.
I know, I don't think, oh, I mean, no, it is glass.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
glass.
It is not plastic.
So you, on the one page there, number 11, the house to the left, the window to the left of that, it says previously replaced.
Those were replaced when we moved in.
Okay. So the color of the new windows will match that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the openings do not change at all. They're not being reduced, so.
Correct.
yeah.
And they are not wrapping.
Yeah, they're all slightly different, and they're all being custom made to match.
And
You
what's
guys-
in the front are original.
I believe so. They have the.
They have the waviness to
The
them,
wavy
so they've
glass,
been up there for 100
yeah.
years, if not longer.
And it looks like they do have the storms on them, don't they?
They do have
I can
storms
see
on
the
them.
hinges.
Yeah, they hang
Yeah.
and latch. They're difficult to take off, so we usually don't take the storms off.
Mm-hmm, okay.
The upstairs ones with the mullions on them, the grids, are those replacement? Had they been replaced
No,
years
those up
ago?
there, well, they
They're not
all have the
original,
wavy
are they?
glass. They have the wavy glass in those as well.
They have the
They're-
wavy glass too?
They're wood, counterweighted. They're old, but I don't know if they're original.
Which window are you referring to, Pat?
The ones up, like the 6 through 10,
Okay.
they all have, like I said, the grids and such, the mullions in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering why they, of course, your house has been added on to, I'm looking at this 3 different times, right?
Yeah.
Plus the summer
Seems-
kitchen, which might be a 4th time. Just guessing by the architectural layout of it. I guess it looks like they put in gridded windows, even though the ones in the front were 1/1. But I'm guessing it'd probably be a good idea just to go back to what was originally in the front of the house
Mm-hmm.
and get it all to match, as opposed to having the, I hate to say hodgepodge, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the mix and match.
Well, I'm not sure if I even like window number 3, the 6/6. I'm not sure if that even fits the style of the house. It's more of a colonial,
Yeah.
those window styles are colonial.
Yeah, you would know better than a lot of us, so you studied all that.
Well, I'm just,
but-
just saying.
But you're right, yeah. Yeah, I've got no other questions.
Any further questions?
No.
If not, I'll make a motion to approve certificate CA-24-059 as stated.
I will second that.
Roll call, Roger White,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Linda Bowman,
Yes.
David Kirkcraft,
Yes,
Rich Stoddard. Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next application, 198, CA 24-060 for 198 Washington Street. This request is also for new vinyl windows. This residential home was constructed around 1930. It has not been before the Landmarks Commission previously for any approvals. The applicant is seeking approval to replace all 17 windows on the home. They are all currently 8/8 wood windows with new 1/1 vinyl windows. Additionally, the applicant is requesting to replace the 5 basement windows with new one next to one's vertical, horizontal sliders. Up on the screen, some photographs the applicant provided here showing the windows on the front elevation. There's one here behind the screened porch. Moving around to the left side of the home here, some of the additional windows on that elevation in these 2 photographs. Going over to the north side of the home here, the number of windows that wrap around, including above the attached garage. The applicant has provided some photographs here showing there are storm windows on the existing home that will be removed. Just like the previous home, some of the storms are wood clip-in, while some of them are newer, are aluminum that are built into the framing of the home itself when the aluminum siding was added at some point in the past. Information here for the vinyl windows the applicant's requesting. At time of the submittal, the applicant does note in the application that they wanted to do grids that matched what was there. After talking with their contractor, this company only offers internal grids, not a simulated divided light grid. She has opted to remove the grids from the proposal rather than having internal divided light, to have no grids to make it a little more appropriate. In addition to that, the basement windows, you've seen this photo here, I believe they are a tilt-out style. They have been kind of massaged with an insect screen on the outside, and then also like a plastic piece that's been fabricated on the inside as well. It looks like a security screen. She's looking to replace that with a vinyl product that would be a slider window, where the pane slides left or right in that location. All windows are noted to be white to match. If there's any questions, I can try to help answer. Applicant's here to answer any questions you guys have for her.
That's a lot of windows.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We've been saving for a
Just an
while.
Just an observation.
Just an
Yes.
observation, yeah. Yeah, I
Don't
like
we
your
know it.
Christmas wreaths too. Very, very, very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Came with the house.
So since these are 8/8 or 6/6, 8/8, right?
8/8.
Mm-hmm, 8 over.
So we're going to do just 1/1,
Yeah.
so eliminate the grids altogether. Because in the wordage, it talked about grids but the original application talked about 1/1, so.
Yeah, part of the conversation I had with the applicant was trying to figure out if it was a simulated divided light or the grids internal to the panes of glass.
Yes.
She asked her contractor for clarification, and he said it was, they only offered in between the panes.
Yes.
So my suggestion was to remove the grids altogether, rather than having the grids in between the panes of glass. I informed her that request hasn't gone over so well in prior applications, but removing the grids altogether is usually a simpler solution, especially with the quantity that are being requested to be replaced on the home.
And I did check for the semi-divided light, and it tripled the cost.
triple the cost.
You did. Wow. Yep.
Yeah, this company didn't offer that as a standard, so it was a custom one-off to produce it. It was one of the things, I tried to scan all of the packet. These are some of the slides from the window company. But if you look here, they note specifically for the grids, they're internal only.
Yeah, those things, those windows do need some help.
They're, as far as we know, the original.
The original, yeah.
What
If you look-
what are they going to do with those? Just throw them away?
You want them?
No, I do not, but I'm sure that somebody does.
I'll ask the
What's that?
Smiths.
What'd you say, Roger?
I wonder what's going to happen to the old windows.
Oh,
Architectural salvage might take them. I don't think they'll buy them, but
Up on
they might take them, yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Have at it.
You didn't really say anything about sizes. I'm guessing none of these sizes are changing at all? You're not
No.
reducing them at all?
Nope.
Keeping them still
And
full?
there'll be no external change.
Got it.
Our installer, he did leave a voicemail if you want to hear it from
Uh-huh.
himself. He's like, there'll be no external change, and he said I can call him if we have any, if you guys need to hear that from him, but he said there'll be no external change whatsoever
Got
to
it.
the home.
Got it.
Like framing, they'll all be custom measured, custom made,
Good.
fit right in.
so if we want to take one of these windows for ourselves, we just come over and help ourselves?
Please do. I'll let you know when the installation date is, no problem.
You use them as picture frames. Good Pinterest project for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever helps the application. Many as you'd like.
When will the work begin? ASAP, or do they have to order the windows probably?
Yes, they're raising their prices in January, so we're hoping to get the order in as soon as possible, before January, and then he said they can be installed by February.
Yep, that's a quick turnaround.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Any more? Any questions?
Gentlemen?
Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve CA-24-060 as stated.
I'll second that.
Roll call. Roger White,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Linda Bovee,
Yes.
Rich Dowdy, yes, David Craig.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
You know what? I think I talked to you and your husband.
Yes, I was gonna say you can take it off my bill for the blueprints.
But I didn't do any blueprints.
Wow, blueprints for windows, that's great.
No, for the garage, we're gonna bill on the back, you guys can approve. Wait, I'm gonna stop talking while I'm at that. Thank you.
I like the way she thinks, that's good, that's creative.
Keeping with the same theme tonight, last application, CA 24061, address is 65 West Columbus Street. This is also another application for some new vinyl windows on the home. This residential home was constructed around 1930 from our historic inventory sheets. The applicant did receive approval to replace the same windows that they're requesting this evening back in October of 2022. However, the windows were never installed, so they're back here this evening for a resubmittal of that application. The 9 windows that are looking to be replaced are on the second story of the home in the bedrooms that are upstairs of this facility. Applicant's looking to replace the existing 3/1 windows. It's noted here that the grid work will match what is being removed. I'm sorry, there's a typo in my staff report here. The new windows will match what is being removed. The cut sheets here provided by the applicant are up on the screen. They noted here that these will have a vertical grid on the top to match white in color. Again, there's a total of 9 windows three in each of the bedrooms. So if there's any questions from me, I'll gladly answer. Applicant's here to answer any questions you guys have for him.
So, Mr. Vasco, all the first floor windows have been changed,
No,
right? I mean,
the original frame of the house, what you're looking at right there, those 4 windows are the original windows. The
upstairs.
addition that you're seeing around the side was
Okay.
built in 1993, and it say also 3/1. Those are wood windows that when we did the addition to the house to match. And what has happened is the upstairs windows are in terrible condition. The weights are broken, the frames have rotted, the installation of the storm window application they did in the exterior was not properly done, and there's rotted wood behind that. We are not changing the exterior appearance in any way. We're simply putting in a vinyl window on the inside, and again, it's much like what she just said, we talked about putting actual dividers and having 3 panes of glass at the top, and it was approximately tripling the cost of the window, which became extraordinarily cost prohibitive. 2 years ago, the window price we received from that company was, for all 9 windows, was less than $6,000. This time, it is more than $15,000.
Wow.
Now, the last one wasn't done because in the end, they couldn't put the window dividers in the top. They bailed out on us, told us all through the process. We came through all of this, got approved. And then when it came to actual construction of the windows, they said, well, we can't do that. And I said, then cancel the contract. I'm not doing it without it, period. We went to great effort when we added the room addition to match the appearance of the old part of the house, and I think we succeeded. And I wouldn't do anything to change the character of the home.
Okay.
Let's hope that this time that their
So that's
representations
what the new
will be
windows are gonna
true.
look like, right there.
Well, there won't be the storm window on the
Well,
outside. But the
That'll be
window will
three-
look exactly like that.
Okay.
3/1.
3/1, okay.
So new windows being put in are 3/1, not 2/1.
Yes.
Yeah, I apologize. That was a typo on my end of the staff report.
Okay.
I was reading this line right here, 2 vertical grids in the top, but the 2 vertical grids create 3 panes.
The 3.
So, yeah.
I'm following you, because I read that and
Yeah.
threw me, so.
As I'm presenting it, I read what I wrote, and that's, I see how I got there, but it wasn't right.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna look great. Yeah, and again, not changing the size or anything of the openings, no. Didn't think you would.
Not any quarter of an inch. They will be identical.
Got it.
You can see some of the trim wood is showing some rotting. We're going to replace that, but it's going to be identical wood. I mean, we're not changing dimensions, we're not changing the color, we're not changing anything, but there is some rotted wood around the window trim
Yeah,
that we're going to replace at that time.
that'll be a concrete
At the same
fiber board
time.
or cedar.
Yeah, at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna be wood or it's
Wood.
woodish or woodish
It
type.
will be
Yeah,
real wood.
Real wood, got it.
Okay. And painted this white, with the same color.
Correct.
Yep.
Same color.
Okay.
It was,
Is all the wood trim around the windows about the same condition? Or are there some?
some of them are better than others.
Okay.
Yeah.
West side of the house took a lot more wear and tear than the
Yeah.
east side.
So you're just gonna replace the wood that has to be replaced?
Correct.
I'm just wondering, when you paint that, I wonder if there'll be a contrast between the old white and the new white.
No, I would think once you put a coat of paint on it, it'll all blend the same.
If it
Yeah.
doesn't look the same initially, it will look the same very quickly.
Okay. Sounds pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah. I move to approve application CA 24-061.
I'll
I like the
second.
Or you can second. Either
Well,
way.
you can second.
Roll call. David Craycraft.
Yes.
Rich Dobbs, yes. Linda Bovee.
Yes.
Patrick Lynch.
Yes.
Whit Wardell.
Yes.
Roger White.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For old new business, would like to thank Pat Lynch for volunteering some of his busy schedule to sit back up here with you guys and review things in the Old Town. I can say that the mayor must have a lot more weight than I do in asking him, because I asked Pat for years, his wife for years, and the mayor comes into my office one day and said, hey, Pat Lynch is coming back from the commission, and that was a huge win, so I'm excited to have you back. Seemed like you jumped right back in, and like, no beat was missed, so.
No,
Much
no.
appreciated.
It's fun.
Now, don't get too excited, he's finalizing Dr. Kelly's term, which expires at the end of '26, so we'll see if he wants to come back after
So
that.
it's a 2-year thing then?
Yeah.
Okay. I
So,
didn't know
it's
that.
not a
Wow,
full
sound
commitment
even
yet.
better.
Yeah, so we'll see how lucky we get in 2 years. In terms of other old new business, I did give you guys a copy of the 2025 schedule, just to put dates in your calendars. Awesome year this year, you guys, 61 applications, really busy year. I would say that this year was very heavily on the residential projects. I know usually we have a good third, a little more that are commercial, but we've had a lot of residents do projects this year. So thanks you guys for recommending doing the letters in the mail that we started doing a couple years ago. Notifying new property owners when they sign up for their water bill that they're in the Old Town District, to make them aware. I think all of these things have brought these projects that could have very well happened and no one noticed for you guys, to help guide them and make sure it's the best thing possible. So that has been wonderful. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Hope you guys have a happy holiday. If there's any questions for me.
I have a question. On the meeting dates for 2025, we have December 22nd, and I realize that we kind of moved this date a little more forward. Is that absolutely written in stone?
No, so typically, so the way that our codified ordinances work is it says that the meetings are on the fourth Monday of every month. As we approach December, we'll do a similar fashion that in the November meeting, we'll see if there's an alternative date that's preferred to everybody. No one wants to have a meeting day before, around, or during Christmas, so we always try to be negotiable with that one. Usually the Tuesday before is where it ends up, but again, it depends on everybody's life schedule, so.
Thank you.
I try to keep that meeting filing deadline the same for the public. That way they're not extra confused on two moving dates, but at least the meeting date, they usually appreciate that when being moved to, so.
Andrew, 2 months ago, we had the folks with the mill came in.
Yes.
And there were some questions on the vent windows that
Yes.
they were, have we had any movement on that?
No, they are still in the design phase for some of those elements. They've focused, and thank you for reminding me, they focused a lot of their efforts. So they just went before the Planning and Zoning Commission and got approval from that board to open up a private event venue in that facility. That was a conditional use request. So they just received approval from P&Z. That'll be valid for 2 years to gain occupancy, to open up what they're naming as Elevate 1828. They also received their site development plan approvals for the installation of the patio, parking lot, and front vestibule, and miscellaneous sidewalks that they're going to be doing. They were aware that you guys have been working on this facility for the last couple of years to get it to where it got presented to Planning and Zoning Commission. And they also understood that the details for like the patio material still needed to come back for you guys. They weren't concerned about that. They thought that the patio location made sense. One of the things that one of the applicants brought up during the meeting is based off of public feedback, they're going to be looking at how to secure the site from the railroad tracks long-term. They're going to explore to see if they can install some type of fencing or something along the railroad tracks just to help contain rented event vent spaces from being, spilling out onto the railroad tracks. I'm sure that'll take a lot of coordination with the railroad company, because I'm sure they have a really wide right-of-way that the Historical Society is not aware of. But they may come back in the future with some type of like property delineator, just to kind of keep that in your mind, along with coming back with the wooden awnings, how they're going to fabricate those, and then the patio materials.
Cool. I have to say that the fence in front of Hartman's looks very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Vast improvement.
I
think so,
was
too.
shocked how fast they got that.
I know, that was wild.
And the, what's the name of the brewery?
Israel.
Israel. That went up very quickly
Mhm.
also.
Yeah, that was a very fast process. It only needed two inspections from our inspectors, so it was, I think it's a modular kit that once you design it, you order the pre-cut metal, and then it just assembles per the instructions.
Louvered open top?
No, so the top, Mr. Lynch, is a acrylic panel that is like a smoked color, that can structurally withstand like snow, wind, and ice loads. But the acrylic nature allows some natural light to penetrate through it
Nice.
to help it not feel so dark underneath of it. They went with a smoked color, so it more blended in with the structural members of it. But some of the items Landmarks Commission made as conditions of approval was they made it wide enough where it was wider than the arched windows on either side. Had the height of it be the divider from the door and the windows, so that way it wasn't like in a weird transition on the glass or door. And then the pitch is the minimal 1/12 pitch that system's designed to be. That way, from across the street perspective, you didn't see as much of the acrylic panel. That way it showed from like a pedestrian scale more of the original features on the building. And it just helped lift the whole thing up. So from like the far end of the pavilion, the roof wasn't as close to you. So some of those things were conditions of approval by Landmarks to approve that system.
Yeah, it looks nice. Be nice, a nice addition for that building.
That's all I have.
Anything else? You guys have anything?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. It's 7:43.
I'll second. David Kirkhoff.
Yes.
Rich Dobde, yes. Linda Bovee.
Yes.
Patrick Lynch.
Yes.
Whit Wardell. Yes. Roger White.
Yes.